I'm Julie.
And I'm Melanie.
And we're Moms on a Mission,
empowered to bring abundance to our families.
Can you smell the goat? Every time I
smell singed.
I smell singed. Every time I turn my head, I'm like, what does that smell?
Yeah, it's singed hair.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I just love our life.
Yes, I love my life.
Odor to
We always
burnt
smell
goat. So Tina and I just got done dehorning and tattooing the goats that were big enough and small enough to have it all done. And so you get to see us in our natural habitat and our fashionable attire.
Yes, lovely today.
Right? And the braids are so functional.
Braids.
You really can't get away
really
without
are.
braids. It's just, yeah.
The two oils that I use the most in lots of things is lavender and tea tree oil. Because the lavender is very calming, but it is also antibacterial. Mm-hmm. And I even use that in like cleaning products and personal products and things like that. And I also use the tea tree oil as well for its antibacterial properties.
I use it for everything.
And
tea tree oil.
I use it for everything. And actually, I even there's an ointment that I made for my husband for his amputated leg that is tea tree oil and lavender oil and coconut oil, and that's all it is.
Yeah. Hey guys, so all of you already know Tina. She's over at My Homesteading Project. My Homesteading or Homestead?
My Homesteading.
My Homesteading Project. Yes. I got it right the first time. And we live really close. You've seen other videos. We went and saw the Fiber Guild.
Yes.
Last
fall. Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a while. We don't get out much.
We don't. I think that was the last time I went anywhere with a girlfriend. Sad. Okay, so Tina is here as part of my Braid Girl segment because we're going to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart lately and something that I've always really admired Tina for, and that is the challenge and blessing at the same time of having a spouse home, so that you have two spouses at home, you have one income because the other spouse needs to be cared for.
Right. And
Tina has done it for how long now?
We started out this in 2002, so it's been like 14 years. So.
And you're still married.
It's been a long time. We're still married. And for any of you out there who may be dealing with issues like this, if you're a person of faith, that's the only thing that has got me through where we're still together. To give me that kind of strength, because it's really, really, really hard sometimes to give and give and give and give to someone who you love and they need the help and you don't mind helping, but it does wear you out sometimes. You are tired, and especially when you have kids and you homeschool and then you add on homesteading, it can be a lot and overwhelming sometimes. So
I think the thing that has been the most, in the beginning, so for those of you who are maybe starting out, maybe in this situation, for me, the most surprising thing in the beginning was that my husband was really sensitive to instruction. That if there was something he could help with, it was really hard for him to take that instruction from me. Mm-hmm. And it caused some friction in the beginning, and it took a lot of walking away and coming back and saying, I don't think you understand what I'm asking for. I know that you think that I'm saying it to be bossy or I'm saying it to be mean, but you asked if you could help. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. This is the thing that you could help with, and it's not that I'm trying to dump on you. It's that because I can lift and haul and do things, maybe you could sit here and just watch the kids do dishes. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could sit here and edit a video for me. And so that's where John really came in, and he started doing all my video editing because it was really the only thing that he could do to help when my plate was 100% full. But I was really, really, really surprised. I thought it would be this blissful thing if my husband ever came home and we were working together on a project. Right? Right? That's what I thought, though. I thought, oh, he won't be working, and he's been complaining and wanting to be able to work at home for so long, and he's talking so much about how he wants to help me, and then he came home, and I was just like,
go back to work.
Go back to work. Yeah. And I was horrified that I felt that way, but I was more horrified by the situation where...
But you don't need to feel bad about that, because I've come to find out, and Eric and I discovered this very early in our marriage, we don't work well together on projects. Isn't that weird? Because you love each other, and really on so many other levels you're in sync. Yeah. But when it comes to laying flooring, or, you know, doing a remodel project, or working on your homestead, you see things differently, and you do things differently. And we do not work well together unless somebody gets to be the boss. Right. Somebody has to be in charge, and somebody has to be the submissive person in each project, because otherwise we can't work together.
I'm glad it's
we
not
can't.
me.
It's not just you. It's not just you. And it's just because men and women think of things differently. Yeah. And we have different ways of approaching things. Men just aren't keyed the same way we are. So it's not personal. It's nothing personal.
Which I think is so valuable to know that, because then you approach it from a different way rather than it being personal and it's about you and me. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's about what is it we don't understand here, that what are the words coming at each other, what you're trying to say and what I'm trying to say, and if we have the same project, is there a way we can take the antagonism out of this? And for us, it was 3 solid months of me coming back in after a fight and coming and saying, I can't change what has to be done. The project is the same. And so however you need me to communicate this to you, and however you need to communicate it to me, we both have to walk away from this with the project getting finished. I think the internet is a blessing, because with disabilities, there's so much opportunity out there to be able to access things that are not local, access jobs that are not local, do things that are not local, so that if you can't move around and you have so much fatigue, that for somebody who's bedridden, I think my personal take on it is that after a while, when you've been sick for a long time, especially for men, that you give up. You think, well, if I can't do this, I'm worthless. I'm useless.
Eric's had trouble with depression as well, because he can't do the things that he loves. He can't help like he wants to. Yeah. And it's hard on them too. Yes. It's very hard on them.
And so much it was about re-educating himself, instead of having to go back to school, but to re-educate himself and say, well, I can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. But let's look around and see what I can do. And we have found for him, he does have to get up and lay down and get up and lay down. He can't be up all day. Right. But having those things that create an income makes him feel responsible for his family still, which I think when you're on disability, it can be hard.
That's a very hard thing. And that's where being on disability, you get X amount of dollars a month. Yeah. This is what you have to spend. And so budgeting is huge. The key for us to be able to survive financially has been to be on a budget. And any budgeting system, there's hundreds of them out there. Use whatever works for you. But, we went to an envelope system and we budgeted. And it's funny because the disability income, he doesn't really feel like he's providing for the family. But when we went on our budget and started savings for specific things, when we had a tire blowout and we needed all new tires, I had budgeted for that. Right. And he was like, oh, honey, I'm sorry, we need new tires. And it's like, that's okay. We have the money. And he was like, this huge relief. And then he kind of felt like at that point, he was providing for the family, because we had money to go out and do those kind of things. He doesn't see the paycheck coming in so much as him providing, but in budgeting for all of our expenses, he's providing that way, which is kind of a weird thing.
It's different.
But it's different.
But for us, that's the only thing that saved us. If we hadn't been on the envelope system when John got hurt, we would not have survived, because we didn't even have disability. Right. A system of savings in your home. Right. I think it works so much better than a checkbook, because
Right.
then it already, it's like mini savings accounts. Here's the savings account for the car. Here's the savings account for the food. Here's the savings account for the mortgage. And so for us, when we have a big emergency, if we ever had to take all that money and pool it together for like a hospital bill or something.
Right. I have pushed really hard while we have this income to try to get everything to be finished and pay for itself.
Yeah.
So when I sell my goats, that should give me enough of an income to pay for everything, all the feed, all the hay, all the straw, everything for the next year.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's really important to look at, is to try to supplement your income anywhere you can. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's, selling things, bartering, anything, to try to raise that income so that you have extra that you can put away.
Like, what did we do this last year? I went and got a couple boxes of wool for Tina, and she traded me breeding fees. I ended up not needing breeding fees, so instead she lent me back her spinning wheel, and it all just, no money ever crossed hands. But it was just kind of a back and forth thing. And I thrive on that. And also, if I have somebody that offers me something for free that I think has some value, I will say yes, and then I will sell it on Craigslist, and that money will come back in to pay for repairs or for animals. And I usually come in with a couple $100s a month from something that I sold. Like right now, our rabbits. I really need the rabbit manure. Butchering them is not my favorite thing. I'd much rather sell them.
Right.
And so they're selling them pays for the feed I put into them. And then I have all this wonderful rabbit manure left over for my garden.
Right.
And so I can look at my husband and say, no, they're not costing anything. So for me personally, the homestead is this huge revolving door of resources for my family.
Right.
And it's therapy for me. If things have just been really, really intense in the house, or if I'm in the house too much, I get depressed. And if I'm around other people when they're emotional or in pain or depressed, I really struggle to find a way to lift them up. And so chores.
Yes. Yes, it is good to have something to do besides care for children, and not that we don't enjoy doing that. I mean, that has been my goal and my mission in life, is to be a mom and be a wife, and that's all I ever wanted to do when I was growing up. So I enjoy doing those things, but you do need a break sometimes, and it is nice to have the homestead to go out, hang with the goats, hang with the chickens, hang with the ducks, build something.
It
you need to get out some
brain.
aggression.
Yeah.
Build something. Need to, you need some love and attention, go love on your goats. And spend time on yourself, because otherwise you get depressed and you get burnt out. And Eric and I will have been married 25 years this summer, and sometimes I'm amazed we made it this long. But you have a purpose, you have a goal, you have to keep those things in mind. That big picture.
Well, and I think
I don't like you today, but I love you.
I love you. And I think you can, for me, my husband and my relationship is much better than it was before he was disabled, as far as feel like the respect that he has for me is a lot more than it was when he assumed that I was just at home eating bonbons.
Right.
Now he looks and he's like, she works 18-hour days.
Right.
And even though we still have the normal married conflict, it is a matter of sometimes he can, lately he's been doing a lot of the homeschooling, which is a huge burden off. And he may not be right. That has also been an interesting, it was not a smooth path to get to this. And it was so much of, like you said, a prayer of, Lord, I must be saying it wrong, because I know he's not a bad man. I know he's not a selfish man. But somehow I'm saying this wrong. He's not understanding how important this is, and if he can't get up and walk around, it still blesses our family for him to do X, Y, and Z. And so for us, it was just, okay, Lord, the steel has entered my spine. I cannot back down on this. I need this. Our family's not going to survive if I don't have a few of these things lifted.
Right.
And so he has, it was not a smooth path, and it was not always fun, but it was something that, in the beginning, it was every day there was altercation. By the time we'd hit 6 weeks, it was every third day. And now we've gotten to the point where we can go a month and there hasn't been an altercation, and it's been a blessing, but
it's a progression. It's
It
a
is.
growing progression. And it's just also the fact that men and women, we just communicate
We do.
differently. You know, Eric, like I said, we've been married almost 25 years, and I look at him sometimes and I go, do you know me at all?
right?
But, you know, it's just, we just look at things differently. And, you know, that's part of the adventure, and that's part of the struggle, and that's part of the joy. Things are always new and exciting.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So, go check out Tina's channel because she is amazing, and
Amazing.
She is. She does things that I don't do. We own all the same goats. All of our goats are related to each other, and they're amazing, amazing animals. And she has a very lovely homestead where mine is just kind of hacked together a little bit. Her goat shelter always makes me drool. And if you're in the area, are you breeding out Logan at all?
No, we are closed.
Are you?
Yeah,
So
we're
smart.
closed.
Don't do it then. You should just buy one of her goats.
Just buy one. I will have lots for sale in about a month. I'm going to wait till they're weaned.
Do you know how much you want for him? I know how much I think they're worth.
I'm going to be asking $250 for doelings.
I think you should.
And probably $150 for the bucklings.
Yeah.
And they will be
they're worth
registered.
it.
Yes, they will.
I don't think any of our goats give less than a gallon a day, and that's the first freshening, guys.
Yep.
First freshening is
Yep.
a gallon a day. It's never skunky. It's always clean. I've never had health
it's
problems.
absolutely fabulous milk, too.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody taste it and go, oh, this is gross.
Ever. It doesn't even taste goaty at all.
No.
It just tastes
it's
like milk.
so similar to cow milk that my kids didn't even notice when I switched it.
And and my husband is so picky,
Yes.
and he hated goat's milk before we got these goats. They have big open orifices, good udder structure. They're not pendulous udders. They're nice and raised, and the teats are long enough to be able to milk. So,
Yep.
I would never own a goat that didn't come from these herds ever again.
Right. No.
Because they're amazing.
Yeah.
So if you want one of her babies, make sure and contact her. They're worth every penny, and they are registered.
Yes. Yes.
So
it'll be 4 or 5 weeks before I give them up.
but you might want to get on the list. So go check Tina out, and I don't know, do you have any other projects you're working on, Etsy stores or anything for bringing income in that people could go look at? Do you?
That I'm not going to tell anybody about. I have a new thing I'm going to start with.
Really?
More animals. More animals.
Oh, that's right. You did. You told me. That's right. You told me.
So I have more animals coming. I know it's crazy, my family.
That will
thinks
be
I'm
fun to
crazy.
watch.
But we'll have a new project going, so
I want to
stay
buy some of them
tuned.
from you when you get them. Hey girls, not girls. It's already going, and I'm gonna
Oh
use
my
a lot of it for bloopers. And my kids they know about the filming.
Of course.
So
I'm working on that.
yeah,
I'm working on that. It may seem like it, but you know, organization. I'm a very organized person, but sticking to that organized schedule is hard for me.
it could have something to do with all the plates you have in the air, all the irons you have in the fire, all the fans you
And
come
I
into
have
their
a
goats
new
for.
one coming.
Oh, I'll take that part out.
That's okay. No, it's all right.
Honey, I
Hey,
love
sweetie.
you. Why do you keep coming in when you know I'm filming? Are you just needing cuddles?
Hey, Mom. Could the page turn under your mountain for me?
Is your school done?
Yes.
All the way?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
In your mouth?
Yes.
Probably.